Hi, it's Dwyer, gamblersadvisory.com, on Roku, public channel, Dwyer Boxing News. Remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Once in a while, a fight comes along, like this Abner Ponce de Leon fight, that has a definitive winner. It's Abner Maris. He won the fight. He dominated the early rounds. He got multiple knockdowns of Ponce de Leon. He looked good. He had a hand speed advantage, but more importantly, I thought the biggest advantage he showed in the ring was his foot speed, right? Ponce de Leon's a bit of a plotter, could not catch up with Maris, who was on his back foot for most of the fight, unlike his fight with Camilo Moreno, right? Maris fought a masterful fight. Maris won the fight conclusively, right? I am not here to say that he was not the winner. But as someone who was supporting the 2.5 to 1 underdog, Ponce de Leon, in the fight, I feel that this was a winnable fight by Ponce. In fact, let's talk about the other side of the game. I think in a rematch, I would actually take Ponce. First, in the post-fight interview, Abner Maris himself admitted that he was hit with a lot of Ponce de Leon left hands, right? Now, I know right now it's not a popular time to say it, but Ponce was the puncher in this fight, right? Just like Ali, a generation ago, knocked out George Foreman, but yet we all know that Foreman was the puncher in that fight. Here, Ponce gets knocked out, but really he's the puncher, right? He's one of the hardest punchers pound for pound in the sport. He got stopped, but yet he was landing his left hand. I thought his left to the body was devastating throughout the fight. I was watching the British feed of the fight. Curiously, the announcers hardly ever mentioned Ponce's left to the body. I thought it was devastating. Keep in mind, between these two, in my opinion, if a lot of power punches landed, then Ponce de Leon eventually would get the upper hand. Well, let's look at the CompuBox numbers. You might be surprised by them, right? As we suspected, Ponce was active in the fight. In fact, while Abner Maris threw 387 punches, Ponce threw 475 punches, right? 475. Also, Ponce de Leon threw 360 power punches. Maris threw 300, right? Maris landed more. Maris landed 149. In other words, Maris connected at an incredible 50% connect rate. Let me just say that's incredible. To the Floyd Mayweather crowd, people need to understand. I know Mayweather connected on 60% of his punches. There's Floyd Mayweather, and then there's everyone else, right? With Floyd Mayweather, 60% connect rates are possible. In the real world, when a fighter lands 40% of their power shots like Abner Maris did, that's phenomenal, right? That's the upper limit. Maris deserves a wow for landing 50% of his power shots. But understand that Ponce de Leon landed 35% of his power shots. In other words, Abner Maris defensively isn't gifted. Let's call it as it is, especially since Maris now wants to think about fighting at 130, is entertaining thoughts of fighting bigger names, right? Nonito Donaire, Yorkis Gamboa. Maris's name has been linked to several in the sport. Well, all I'm saying is, as you're doing the linking, understand that he just fought a power puncher, and that power puncher was able to land 35% of his power shots. let me go one step further. Does Maris have the jab to keep a clever southpaw off of him? Now, he just fought Ponce de Leon, who is flat-footed, doesn't move that much, right? He's a power puncher, not a mover. And against a flat-footed southpaw, Abner Maris, over almost 9 rounds, landed a total of 6 jabs. 6. Now, let me say this. Maris was off to a fast start, but Ponce de Leon was having his best rounds of the fight in the 2 rounds preceding the knockdown, right? I do not believe Ponce de Leon got deconstructed by Abner Maris. I actually believe Ponce was coming back, and you can imagine a smaller man with faster foot speed might slow down in the last 3 rounds of the fight, the 10th, 11th, and 12th. Ponce was very much in this fight. So how did he lose? You've heard me here online talk about the importance of being able to fight inside. Not many people can do it. In my opinion, and I know this is controversial, Abner Maris won this fight. It's on tape. It's out in the open on tape. Abner Maris won this fight with an inside boxing move, right? This fight comes down to the 2 men in a clinch. Maris knows Ponce is predominantly left-handed. Maris is smart. This is what smart, clever fighters with inside games know how to do. He's holding Ponce's left hand, right? So he's holding Ponce's cannon. Maris is right-handed. That's important because first he has the hand held with his right hand. Then he realizes that he has an opportunity to end the fight. So he then moves his left hand over Ponce's left hand, right? So he has his right hand on top of it, his power hand. He literally, inside, this is during the clinch, he then holds Ponce's left hand, literally holds it with his left hand. Then he takes a step back, has his right hand cocked, and he comes over with the right hand, hits Ponce in the face with the right hand, knowing that Ponce's left hand is being held and that Ponce can't raise the left hand to block the punch. This whole fight to me comes down to a move. I don't know who would have won this fight. I know the Abner Maris crowd's going to disagree with me, and I encourage you to give me a hard grade here online. But I'm just calling it as I see it. I don't know who would have won this fight had Abner Maris not used a move to literally hold Ponce de Leon while he hit it. Now, you know in boxing, they say protect yourself at all times, right? Understand, too, that I know to casual fans, clinching looks like it's just fighters taking a breather. For the fighters, that's a big strategic moment. Abner Maris was the one in this fight who mastered it, right? It's a clinch. Then as they're coming out of the clinch, Maris makes sure that he has a clean shot on Ponce de Leon with his right hand. And to make ultra sure, he holds Ponce's left with his left hand. If you don't believe me, just go to your DVR or your computer and look at the end of the fight, right? I'm not sure if the announcers on American television told the American crowd. I could tell you they did not talk about it on the British feed that I saw, right? It's a slick move inside. This is what fighters do inside. They hit you with a free hand. They move and hold hands. This is what Ricky Hatton did his entire career. This is inside boxing, right? You're inside holding a guy, and you're making sure that you have his power punch disabled, right? Abner Maris inside isn't just holding Ponce de Leon. He's literally holding Ponce de Leon's left hand, his power hand. Then Maris realizes that he could do better. He could switch hands, his hands, hold Ponce with his left hand, and then come over the top with a right hand as Ponce is trying to back out of the clinch. Ponce's unprotected. Ponce's a sitting duck. Ponce gets knocked out. Yes, Ponce gets back up. I disagree with the stoppage. I thought the referee was premature on the stoppage because Ponce is fighting back. But the point is, Ponce wouldn't have been knocked down if Abner Maris didn't hold his right hand in the clinch. I'm not calling it dirty fighting. Let's just say it's inside fighting. It's Bernard Hopkins, Andre Ward level fighting. It's a skill move. It got Abner Maris the win, right? I can't say that Ponce would be as reckless at the end of a clinch in a rematch. Let me also say, and this is important because Ponce is a puncher, nor can I say that Abner Maris would have gone on to dominate the 10th, 11th, and 12th rounds, because I have to tell you, if you look at the 6th, 7th, and 8th rounds, Ponce de Leon was actually coming back in this fight. Ponce himself believes he was winning the fight and wants a rematch. I believe Ponce's wrong. I had Abner Maris ahead at the time of the stoppage. But this was a 12-round fight, right? And let's just say that the momentum at the time of that second knockdown was with Ponce de Leon. Also, if either of these guys was going to get knocked out in the later rounds, right, assuming that no one was holding the other guy's hand, giving themselves a clean shot on the guy's temple, right? If anyone was going to win this fight by one-punch KO, right, without holding the other guy, in my opinion, it would be Ponce de Leon. Also, while we celebrate Abner Maris, just understand that he was outthrown in this fight, and the other guy landed in 9 rounds, a disturbing 126 power shots, right? Also, keep in mind, Ponce, his power shots predominantly left-handed, right? Nonito Donaire throws one of the best left hooks in the entire sport, right? I know Ponce is fighting out of a southpaw stance. I know Donaire is fighting out of an orthodox stance. Understand, though, that Donaire is two-handed, right? And Donaire has a great left hand. So when I see Abner Maris getting hit like this, I have my doubts on what would happen against Nonito Donaire. Let me go one step further. Donaire just lost a fight to Guillermo Rigondeaux. But understand, Guillermo Rigondeaux is a defensive wizard. He doesn't get hit like Abner Maris got hit in this fight, right? So just food for thought. You can't look at the Rigondeaux fight and lead to the conclusion that Abner Maris beats Nonito Donaire. Let me hear from you. Leave your comments for me here online. I encourage everyone to look at the tape. When we talk about fighting inside, understand fighting inside is like at the bottom of, the tackle when there's a fumble in football, right? The ball is loose. Guys are grabbing other guys. Guys are bending fingers. Guys are holding thumbs. Guys are doing whatever they can to get an advantage, to get the ball. When guys are inside in boxing, they're grabbing other guys. They're holding other guys. they're hitting other guys with their free hand. Right? Here, the difference between these two fighters really comes down to Abner Maris seeing the opportunity in the clinch, literally holding Ponce with the right, then the left, while he cocks back to throw the right, knowing that Ponce is naked. Right? What Ponce needs to do in the future, knowing that Abner Maris is right hand heavy, is to come out of clinches away from Abner's right hand, at a minimum to come out of clinches where he protects his head on the way out so he can't get hit in the head, to bend away from Abner's power hand. Right? That's part of fighting inside. I thought that inside move by Abner Maris got him the win here. Let me hear from you. Thanks for watching.